Welcome to my channel YouTube, Talk Sora.
Hello and welcome back to Talk Sora. I'm Emma and this is my partner in conversation, Jack.
Hey everyone, it's great to be back here with all of you amazing listeners.
On this channel, we help you practice real, authentic English for everyday life, focusing especially on those of you at the A2 to B1 level. We want you to sound natural.
That's right. And if you enjoy our in-depth dialogue and find our explanations helpful, please remember to subscribe and like this video. It truly helps us a lot and keeps us going.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate every single like. Now, Jack, before we dive into today's main topic, I want to catch up. How was your day yesterday? Tell me everything, not just, it was fine. I want details.
Oh, yesterday. Well, my morning was spectacular. I woke up at 6:30 a.m., felt completely refreshed, did a 7-minute stretch, and even packed myself a completely balanced, nutritious lunch.
Wow, Jack, that sounds incredibly disciplined. What exactly did you pack for lunch? Give me the breakdown.
I was very proud of it. I had a colorful salad, crisp romaine lettuce, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, a little feta cheese, and a small container of quinoa with baked salmon. I even brought a small apple as a sweet treat.
Smiles! That is the healthiest meal you have described in 3 months. So what happened next?
Well, I made it to the office, started working intensely on the big project, and then, around 12:45 p.m., I went to the communal kitchen to get my beautiful, perfectly prepared lunch from the fridge.
And?
It wasn't there. I had left the entire lunch bag, the salmon, the quinoa, the apple, sitting on the kitchen counter at home. I was absolutely devastated, Emma. I stood there, staring into the empty fridge shelf, contemplating my life choices.
Oh, Jack, that is a classic Jack move. I know the feeling. So what did you end up doing instead? Did you find a healthy alternative? A simple soup, perhaps?
A soup? No. I was too hungry, too disappointed, and the nearest place was the fast food joint on the corner. I had a double cheeseburger with extra pickles and a giant order of chili cheese fries, and a large cola. I had to drown my disappointment in maximum grease and sugar.
So you went from baked salmon and quinoa to a double cheeseburger and chili cheese fries. That is quite the routine shift for one day.
Exactly. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day for my diet. But it leads us perfectly into our topic for today, Emma.
It certainly does. Today, we are going to learn how to talk about your daily routine in English. This is one of the most fundamental topics you need to master because it uses the simple present tense, which is the cornerstone of English grammar.
We're going to teach you all the best phrases and vocabulary you need to describe your mornings, your work days, and your evenings. We'll show you how to be specific and how to sound natural.
And remember, listeners, talking about your routine means talking about habits. What you do every day, usually, often, or rarely.
So, get ready to take notes and let's start the routine.
Jack, let's start with the toughest part of the day for many people, the morning routine. I want you to walk us through, minute by minute, what happens from the moment your alarm clock goes off until you leave the house. Be incredibly detailed.
Okay, deep breath. My alarm is set for 7 a.m. The first sound is a very annoying, high-pitched digital beep. I immediately hit the snooze button.
Interrupting. Wait, stop right there. Hit the snooze button. Listeners, this is an excellent phrase for you. It means to press the button that stops the alarm temporarily so you can sleep a little longer, usually for 5 or 10 more minutes. Jack, why do you hit the snooze button?
Because I am a human being who requires more sleep. I usually hit it 3 times, so my actual wake-up time is closer to 7:30 a.m.
I hit the snooze button. I hit the snooze button. I hit the snooze button. Good. Now, what happens after the third snooze?
At 7:30 a.m., I finally roll out of bed. The first thing I do is grab my phone, which is sitting on my bedside table, and I scroll through social media. I check my Instagram feed, look at what's happening on X, and watch a few short videos. That takes a solid 15 minutes.
15 minutes in bed looking at a screen? That's not the healthiest start, Jack. But scroll through social media is great vocabulary. It means moving down through the posts on your phone. Emma's example. I try not to scroll through social media before 8 a.m.
I scroll through social media for too long, and then I'm late.
Chuckles. Very honest. Listeners, repeat. Scroll through social media. Scroll through social media. Scroll through social media. Continue, Jack. What time is it now? 7:45 a.m.
Yes, I quickly stumble into the bathroom. I brush my teeth for exactly 90 seconds, use the blue toothbrush, and splash some cold water on my face. I skip the shower most mornings, I'll admit. I save that for the evening.
Gasps. Jack! Okay, go on.
Next, the kitchen. This is the crucial part. I absolutely must brew a strong cup of coffee. I use my French press and I put in 3 heaping scoops of dark roast grounds. No sugar, just a tiny bit of cream. While the coffee is brewing, I quickly check my work email to see if there are any immediate fires to put out.
Brew a strong cup of coffee. That's another key phrase. To brew means to make a drink like coffee or tea by mixing it with hot water. For a lot of people, this is the ritual that starts the day. Jack, what exactly is a strong cup?
A strong cup means it's powerful, it's intense, it can wake the dead. My brain doesn't function until I've had that first powerful sip.
My example is a little healthier. Every morning, I brew a calming cup of green tea before I start work.
Brew a strong cup of coffee. Brew a strong cup of coffee. Brew a strong cup of coffee.
So, coffee is ready. What do you eat? You said you packed a good lunch, which you forgot. What about breakfast?
Breakfast? It's usually a rapid event. I usually just eat a granola bar or a piece of fruit, a banana if I have one, while I'm putting on my clothes. My biggest priority is getting the coffee into my system and avoiding traffic. By 8:20 a.m., I am generally frantic and I have to rush out the door.
Rush out the door. This means leaving quickly, often because you are late. It implies speed and perhaps a little panic.
Absolutely. It's the feeling of running just a few minutes behind schedule. I grab my keys, my wallet, and my bag, and I'm out the door by 8:25 a.m., driving to work.
Wow, Jack, a lot of great action verbs there. You hit the snooze button, you scroll through social media, you brew a strong cup of coffee, and you rush out the door. You've given our listeners a perfect, if slightly chaotic, picture of a morning routine. Now that you've arrived at the office, and hopefully you remembered your laptop and not just your coffee, let's discuss the workday. This is where our routines probably differ the most, Jack.
I can already guess where this is going. You're going to talk about your midday yoga and your salads, aren't you?
I am. Let's focus on the lunch break. I rarely eat at my desk. I believe in taking a true break to recharge. I occasionally bring a homemade lentil soup or a light wrap, but I often walk to the small park nearby to eat outside. I spend about 30 minutes eating slowly, mindfully, and then I do 10 minutes of gentle stretching or deep breathing exercises to clear my head.
Mindfully? Gentle stretching. I always eat at my desk. I can't afford to waste time.
Why, Jack? Why do you feel you must eat at your desk every single day? Explain your reasoning to our listeners.
Because I am a very dedicated, very busy professional. While I'm eating, I'm simultaneously checking emails, responding to client messages, and sometimes even attending quick online meetings. I feel like if I step away, I'll miss something important. I don't want to break my focus. My lunch usually consists of something quick, a sandwich, a bag of chips, and sometimes a second cup of coffee. I am totally glued to the screen.
Glued to the screen. Listeners, this is an idiom. It means paying extremely close attention to the screen to the point where you cannot look away. Jack, that sounds exhausting and very unhealthy for your eyes and your neck.
Maybe, but I am productive. I eat for 10 minutes, and the rest of the time I'm working.
That's a common habit, but it's not a good one. You need to set aside time for a proper break. Set aside time means to reserve a specific amount of time for a particular purpose. My purpose is relaxation. Your purpose is more work.
My purpose is efficiency.
Let's compare our habits using some strong sentences for our listeners. We're going to do a shadowing drill. I will say a sentence clearly, and Jack, I want you to repeat it slowly, and then we'll invite the listeners to repeat it too. I usually take a 30-minute break to eat lunch away from my computer. Listeners, pay attention to the flow.
Slowly and carefully, I usually take a 30-minute break to eat lunch away from my computer.
Great. Now your turn, audience. Repeat after Jack. I usually take a 30-minute break to eat lunch away from my computer. I occasionally stretch in the afternoon to relieve tension in my neck and shoulders.
I occasionally stretch in the afternoon to relieve tension in my neck and shoulders.
That's a long, useful sentence. Listeners, repeat that powerful sentence. I occasionally stretch in the afternoon to relieve tension in my neck and shoulders. I rarely check personal email during work hours because I need to maintain focus.
A little confused. I rarely check personal email during work hours because I need to maintain focus. Wait, that's actually something I should start doing, Emma.
Exactly. It's a great routine to adopt. Listeners, let's practice this one more time. I rarely check personal email during work hours because I need to maintain focus.
So, while Emma is doing her gentle stretching and feeling refreshed, I am slouching over my keyboard, trying to finish my chili cheese fries from the day before. Wait, no, I'm focused.
You are a perfect example of both good and bad daily habits, Jack. Now, let's move on to the transition from the workday to the evening. Jack, let's practice a crucial professional scenario. Imagine you are a new employee and I am your supervisor in human resources. I need to understand your daily routine to make sure you can maintain a healthy work-life balance. We're going to slow down the conversation to really let our listeners absorb the key structures.
Okay, I'm the new guy. Nervous, slightly late, and definitely need more coffee. Hit me with the questions, Supervisor Emma.
Good. Let's start with the end of the day. What time do you usually wrap up your tasks and leave the office?
I usually wrap up my tasks around 5:30 p.m. I try to leave the office no later than 5:45 p.m. to avoid the worst of the evening rush hour. I like the phrase, wrap up my tasks. It means finishing the important jobs of the day.
Excellent. Listeners, repeat that phrase. Wrap up my tasks. Wrap up my tasks. Wrap up my tasks. Now, Jack, once you get home, what's the first thing you do to decompress?
To decompress? That means to relax after stress, right? Well, I don't exactly do yoga. I immediately change into comfortable clothes, my favorite faded blue sweatpants, and I head straight to the kitchen. I usually start thinking about dinner around 6:30 p.m.
And do you meal prep or do you just improvise? Meal prep is the preparation of food in advance.
Meal prep? Absolutely not. I rarely meal prep. I usually just order something quickly, or I make a very simple dinner, like pasta with butter and cheese or a frozen pizza. I spend maybe 15 minutes cooking, tops.
We encourage healthier eating habits. Let's talk about how you wind down. How do you usually spend the time between dinner and going to bed?
This is my favorite time. I catch up on a TV series I'm watching. Right now, I'm watching a detective show with 12 episodes. I usually watch 2 episodes back to back, which takes up about 2 hours of my evening. I also scroll through my phone again.
Catch up on a TV series. That's a very natural sounding phrase, listeners. It means watching episodes you missed or watching a lot of episodes consecutively. Jack, can you use that phrase in a different sentence?
Sure, I need to catch up on a TV series before my friends spoil the ending for me.
Perfect. On a TV series. Catch up on a TV series. And finally, Jack, when do you hit the sack? That means going to bed.
I try to hit the sack by 11 p.m., but if I am still watching my detective show, I might stay up until midnight. I read for about 10 minutes, usually something light, and sometimes I just fall asleep with the book on my chest.
You should aim for a consistent sleep schedule to improve your productivity. So, to summarize, you wrap up your tasks, you decompress by putting on comfortable clothes, you rarely meal prep, you catch up on a TV series, and then you hit the sack.
That's the rhythm of my life. It's busy, but it's mine.
Excellent, Jack. This deep dive has given our listeners a clear structure for describing their own evening routines. Welcome back, everyone. This is the most important part of our video, the ultimate vocabulary review. We've collected 10 fantastic words and phrases from Jack's and my routines that you absolutely must master.
Yes! Get ready to repeat after us. We're going to make sure these words stick in your brain.
Let's start with our very first phrase, the one that describes Jack's greatest morning struggle. Hit the snooze button.
Ah, the snooze button. It means to press the button on the alarm clock to silence it temporarily, allowing for a few extra minutes of glorious, illegal sleep.
My long example. I try to be disciplined and avoid hitting the snooze button because those extra 10 minutes always make me feel more rushed when I finally have to get out of bed.
If I don't hit the snooze button at least 3 times, my brain doesn't receive the memo that it's time to start working.
Slowly. Hit the snooze button. Normal speed. Hit the snooze button. Our second phrase describes a very common modern habit. Scroll through social media.
To scroll through social media means to move your finger up or down on your phone screen to look quickly at posts on sites like Instagram or TikTok. It's usually a time waster, but a fun one.
Many studies show that if you scroll through social media first thing in the morning, it can actually increase stress and reduce your focus for the day ahead.
I scroll through social media until my eyes burn and my coffee is cold, and then I realize I'm 10 minutes late for my first appointment.
Slowly. Scroll through social media. Scroll through social media. Number 3. The morning essential. Brew a strong cup of coffee.
Brew means to make a beverage like coffee or tea by soaking the grounds or leaves in hot water. And strong means powerful, intense.
Instead of buying expensive coffee every morning, I save money and practice my mindful routine by carefully brewing my own light roast using my favorite ceramic pour-over device.
I brew a strong cup of coffee because I was up until 1 a.m. watching a detective show, and I need maximum caffeine to function like a normal human being.
Slowly. Brew a strong cup of coffee. Brew a strong cup of coffee. Phrase number 4. Jack's usual morning state. Rush out the door.
This simply means to leave the house or the building very quickly, usually because you're running late or feeling hurried.
Because I prepare my bag and outfit the night before, I never have to rush out the door in the morning. I can leave calmly and on time.
I always rush out the door because I spend too much time looking for my car keys, which are usually hidden under a pile of dirty laundry.
Slowly rush out the door. Rush out the door. Number 5. The productive closing. Wrap up your tasks.
To wrap up your tasks is a professional way of saying you are finishing or completing your main jobs or duties for the day.
Before I wrap up my tasks for the day, I make a quick to-do list for tomorrow morning, which helps me prioritize my focus.
I try to wrap up my tasks by 5 p.m., but sometimes I get so distracted by a funny meme that I don't actually finish until 6:30 p.m.
Slowly. Wrap up your tasks. Wrap up your tasks. Number 6. The necessity of relaxation. Decompress.
Decompress means to relax and reduce the stress or tension you've built up during a busy or difficult period, like a workday.
After a long and difficult meeting with a challenging client, I usually spend 15 minutes in silence in my kitchen, just trying to decompress before I start cooking dinner.
I try to decompress by lying on the sofa and eating an entire bag of chips, but sometimes that just makes me feel more stressed.
Slowly. Decompress. Decompress. Number 7, a healthy habit Jack should adopt. Meal prep.
Meal prep is short for meal preparation, and it means cooking or getting food ready in advance for several days of the week, often on a Sunday.
If you commit to 1 hour of meal prep every Sunday afternoon, you can save significant time and money during your busy work week.
The only meal prep I do is buying a giant box of frozen pizza and counting how many nights that will cover my dinner routine.
Slowly, meal prep. Meal prep. Number 8, the act of relaxation. Wind down.
To wind down means to gradually relax after a period of activity or excitement, usually just before going to sleep.
I always wind down before bed by drinking a hot cup of herbal tea and reading a classic novel, allowing my mind to quiet down before I turn off the lights.
I try to wind down, but then my phone buzzes with a notification, and I get sucked into watching videos about goats wearing tiny hats.
Slowly wind down. Wind down. Number 9, catch up on a TV series.
This phrase means watching the episodes of a show that you haven't seen yet, often watching several episodes consecutively to become current.
I have too many streaming subscriptions, and every weekend I feel like I have to catch up on a TV series so that I can participate in conversations with my colleagues on Monday morning.
I usually catch up on a TV series until 1 a.m., and then I complain the next morning that I am too tired to function, which is entirely my own fault.
Slowly. Catch up on a TV series. Catch up on a TV series. And our final 10th phrase, a fun one for going to sleep. Hit the sack.
Hit the sack is an informal way to say go to bed. It's very common and sounds natural.
Even if I want to stay up late, I know I must hit the sack by 10:30 p.m. so I can get 8 full hours of restorative sleep.
I try to hit the sack early, but then I remember I forgot to pack my lunch, and I have to spend 20 minutes getting things ready, which makes me miss my bedtime.
Slowly hit the sack. Hit the sack. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth session on how to talk about your daily routine in English. Jack and I have covered everything from the chaotic wake-up call to the relaxing process of winding down before bed.
We gave you 10 powerful phrases today. Just to recap, we learned about waking up, like hitting the snooze button and scrolling through social media.
We also focused on productive habits, such as knowing when to wrap up your tasks and the benefits of meal prep. And for the evening, we discussed how to decompress, wind down, and finally hit the sack.
The simple present tense is your best friend when describing your routine, listeners. Remember to use it for actions that happen regularly, always, or usually.
Now it's your turn to practice. We call this our question of the day. This is how you can use the vocabulary we taught you today.
Get ready to pause the video and write your answer in the comments section below.
Our question is, what 3 parts of your evening routine help you wind down the most? And which 2 phrases from today's video best describe those activities?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll give you my sample answer, just to inspire you. I'll make it quick and use some of the vocabulary we learned.
Go on, Jack.
Okay, in the evening, the 3 parts that help me wind down the most are taking a long hot shower, ordering takeout, and reading a comic book. I would use the phrase catch up on a TV series, even though it's a comic book, because it's a way to consume stories. And the second phrase is definitely hit the sack, because getting into bed is the ultimate moment of relief.
Very honest, Jack. We look forward to reading all of your responses and seeing how you apply those phrases. Practice is the only way to get fluent.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining us on Talk Sora today. We hope you feel much more confident describing what you do every day.
If you enjoyed this long-form conversation, please hit the like button and subscribe for more real English practice.
Until next time, keep practicing your routine and maybe try to only hit the snooze button once. Bye for now.